Hey everyone, welcome back to my How to Start a Business series. This is part 5, the very last one, so congratulations, you've made it this far. You ready to pay some taxes? Because that's what this video is about, paying your taxes. I'm going into very specific numbers and details on exactly how you need to do everything because you don't want to mess around with the IRS. This is important. Let's start with the first topic, which is tax brackets. This is very important when you work self-employed because you're going to be in different tax brackets and you have to pay additional taxes on top of it. So let me walk you through the two different scenarios. One is salary and one is self-employed so that you understand the difference. When you're a salaried employee, you will pay your normal taxes according to your tax bracket, which is how much you earned that year. So listed here on the page are the various tax brackets. So if you earn something like $100,000 a year, you're going to be in this bracket right here. Now, normally what the government does is they need money for Medicare, Social Security, etc., and these are called FICA taxes. FICA is the US Federal Payroll Tax. It's basically Federal Insurance Contributions Act, and it's deducted from every single paycheck. When you are salary, this is connected to your own personal Social Security number, and your employer is going to deduct the appropriate amount off and pay half of that on your behalf. That's the benefit of working for an employer. 6.2% goes to your Social Security tax, and 1.45% goes to Medicare. Your employer matches this, and so it's a total of 15.3%. So you're going to pay half of that FICA tax, your employer pays the other half, and then you pay your final tax bracket, which is deducted from your paycheck automatically. At the end of the year, you'll put in your deductions. If you made side gig money, you have to put that in. But in general, let's say you didn't spend or earn any additional money, it will zero out on taxes and you shouldn't have to really owe anything unless they calculated something wrong. Now, when you're self-employed, things are a little different because nobody is there to pay your 15.3% for you. So you end up paying the whole thing out of pocket by yourself. So you end up paying the 15.3% on top of whatever you pay in your tax bracket. If you earn $100,000 a year, that's a lot of money gone. Yep, basically whenever I get a paycheck, let's say it's $10,000 from the client, I immediately take 45% and I set it aside into my bank account. You can round up to 50%. I would put it in a completely separate savings account so that you're not tempted to spend this money. And that is paying myself off of that paycheck. So you have to be able to count on yourself living off of just the 40%. Another thing to consider is that you don't have an employer who's paying for health insurance, 401ks, Roth IRAs, things like that. As an LLC, you will need to file 4 times a year. And the reason why the government does this is just to help you out. Plus, they kind of want some cash flow, so they charge you once a quarter. Listed here on the screen are the 4 different time periods that you need to pay your taxes. Basically, each quarter, you see how much money you earned, you paid taxes. Hopefully you've paid enough taxes throughout the year that you do get that $0 balance because that's what your employer would have done for you. Let's go through a couple scenarios so that you fully understand this because it can be a little tricky. Let's take my situation, for example. For me this year, I worked salary from January through July 15th. And this means that for half of this year, I will have my employer deduct that amount for taxes, which I will then file by next year, mid-April. Now this year, I ended up starting to work my own business, and I did that from essentially September through the end of the year. August, I kind of took some time off. So if we look at a calendar, this is what it looks like. This section here is salary. This section was no money earned, but I did start to create my business. I got my EIN number. I started setting up my business. So I had business expenses because I was paying for things to start my business, but I didn't quite earn money yet. Now, if we look at September, this is when I started working for my first couple of clients and my long-term contract job, which was paying me a regular income plus my teaching income. So these come in at least once a month at the very end. So I'm paid in one chunk, which means even though I did the work in September, there was a 30-day delay on when I got my first paycheck. Since I spent so much money in the beginning, by the time I got my first paycheck, Q3's tax date had already passed, which meant that I didn't have to file for taxes. I actually called up my CPA just to make sure that this was okay, and he said, yes, this is true. I had business expenses, but I should just apply it to the end of the year because gear was still coming in, I was still paying for things, it was invoiced, and so he said, Just don't file taxes on September, just wait until the end of the year. So now we get to the end of the year and I'm gonna have to pay for a couple of things. So first up, at the end of December, I will have about 1 to 2 weeks to pay my self-employed taxes that was earned in Q4. I'm gonna run this through TurboTax, get all my deductions, and pay the final amount. Now, because I invested so much in my own company, I got a laptop, camera, things like that, it's probably going to be a break even, so I bet I'm not gonna have to pay any taxes come January. Now, at the end of January, my tax forms from my salary job last year should come in. Companies get a little bit longer in order to submit that, so self-employed is taken care of. Now I get my tax forms from my previous job, and then I have until April to file that. That will probably be the last time that I file taxes on a salary position. So up until this point, I'm going to also file a second time on my own self-employed income. So the way this looks is I might end up paying for self-employed tax twice before I even get to my salary job from the previous year. And then after that, I will file for the end of Q2, beginning of Q3 once again, and the process continues over and over again. If this is too complicated and you're earning enough money, I recommend you just get a CPA who can do all this for you, or use TurboTax. I mean, TurboTax is so easy, you guys. I've been using it since I was like 16 years old, 15 years old. If I can do it as a 16-year-old, you guys can do it now because it's even easier than before. I also use QuickBooks, so I enter everything in here and it pretty much does 40 to 50% of my taxes for me by the end of the year, so then I don't have to worry about it. So how do we give you some tools to lessen that painful tax payment? Well, you can write things off on taxes. Here are some huge deductions that can a lot of times just completely negate out your expenses, like what it did for me in Q3 and most of Q4. One advantage of this year is there was a law that was passed that said that any business expenses can be written off 100% this year that you purchase it in. For this reason, I went a little crazy spending money because I knew this is all long-term value and it's best for me to buy it now rather than wait until next year. So I just went nuts on Black Friday and I got everything that I needed for the next year or so of me running my business. This included getting a brand new laptop. Now, originally I was gonna write off a portion of my old laptop, which I can still do, but I'm also going to write off 100% of my new purchased laptop and M1 Mac Pro. Also, I bought a brand new A7S III camera and a whole bunch of lenses. That's gonna get written off, along with all the accessories that I purchased for it. Things that people also don't think about is writing off the mileage of your car. If you have the QuickBooks app, you can just track it on your phone, super easy. You get a deduction per mile that you spend on that. In addition, you can write off parking, tolls, lunches with clients, anything that requires you to go and meet them. Don't forget one of the biggest write-offs. I'm here in my house. This is my studio behind me. And I also have my storage next door. Next door meaning my other spare bedroom. That's basically my film cage. So I'm able to write off the square footage of both of these spots in order to reduce how much taxes I pay. So you're gonna calculate the square footage that you use strictly for business, which is this studio, that storage room. I'm not gonna write off my kitchen and say that's my lunch break. You know, that doesn't really count. I'm not gonna write off my bedroom saying, well, sometimes I take a Zoom call, you know, while sitting in my armchair in there. No, don't do that. Just write off your true business office areas. If you pay to have faster internet put in your house, make sure to write off that. And don't forget to write off all the small little things like when you buy more batteries, printer toner, ink, things like that. It all counts. But it doesn't count if you don't have the receipt for it, so just make sure to track everything very, very carefully. Business insurance can get written off, sometimes health insurance, and you might want to ask about your car insurance. If you rent equipment or lenses online, write that off as well. Let's go back around to if you pay an employee. This is 100% written off as a business expense. Now, I need to make sure I fill out that W-9 with my assistant. It's not on me to pay their taxes, it's on them. Now, if they filled out a W-9, you're gonna have to issue something to them. It's a special form called a 1099 NEC or miscellaneous. You'll have this generated in TurboTax or whatever software that you use, QuickBooks, things like that. And then you're going to send that to your assistant or whoever you hired so that they can use that to pay their taxes. Again, that's just a way for government to say a W-9 means we're capping between these two people, and the 1099 miscellaneous says money was exchanged between these two people. Does it match? Do you get it deducted? Do they have to pay for their taxes? Yes, and it matches it. And then TurboTax and QuickBooks will tell you how much you owe, how much they owe, and it balances everything else out. If you haven't gotten the point by now, record keeping is very important, so make sure to do that correctly. You have to be very organized if you run your own business. Don't be doing your financing in spreadsheets and things like that, or in notebooks or on scrap paper. I do it on the side just to double check. For example, every single time I make a purchase, I just put a little note in my cell phone under just like a basic notebook, but I always go in at the end of the week into QuickBooks and I enter those expenses and I double check it against TurboTax. So important. Don't wait until the last minute to do this because you're going to be ripping your hair out trying to file receipts. All right, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, go start a business.